Hello students, welcome to Accounting 1329, Payroll and Business Tax Accounting. We are using the Payroll Accounting 2022 edition. This is Dr. Mercado speaking. Welcome back. I hope all of you are doing great. In this particular week, we are going to be covering Chapter 3, which deals with Social Security taxes. Now, before I begin, I just want to make a general announcement to please read the chapter before you attempt any of your assignments. Okay, review the examples provided within the text. Review the PowerPoints that I posted in Blackboard. Review any lectures that I posted as well. Within your homework assignments, there are some show me how videos embedded in some of the problems. Please review those videos. And we are done completing all of those tasks. Make sure that you complete your weekly assignments, which includes a quiz and a homework. Okay. If you have any questions, please make sure to reach out to me Monday through Friday. I am available during my scheduled office hours. Please make sure to refer to your syllabus so you can be aware of my office hours as well as dates, okay, for my office hours. I also want to remind students that if you're going to be emailing me or sending me a Blackboard or Pronto message about having issues with a particular problem, you reference what class you're in, you reference the problem that you're working on, and you provide me your step-by-step calculations of what you're doing to arrive at your figure so I can review your steps and provide some guidance. Okay, I'm not going to simply give you the answer, but I will provide guidance as to what you need to do to be able to get the problem correctly. Make sure that you print your syllabus and keep it handy at all times. That way you can be aware of any due dates or assignment deadlines. Okay. Now the first problem that I'm going to be going over today is problem 36A, which deals with calculating OASDI and HI tax. Okay. The problem states, Audrey Martin and Beth James are partners in the country gift shop, which employs the individuals listed below. Paychecks are distributed every Friday to all employees. So employees get paid every Friday. Okay. Based on the information given, compute the amounts listed below for a weekly payroll period. Okay. So we have a list of employees of 5 employees, their salary, and then we are being asked to calculate a variety of items. Okay. So what I did is I basically copied the information from the problem over to an Excel spreadsheet. That way it's just easier for me to fill in the blanks, okay? It's also very important to know when we are dealing with old age survivors and disability insurance and the HI tax is that there are caps, okay, for depending on the type of tax that we are paying, okay? So for example, for my employee and employer OASDI tax, the rate is 6.2%. The amount that you are going to pay taxes on is on the first $142,800. Anything above $142,800 will not be taxable. Okay, the maximum tax that can be collected per year is $88.5360. Okay, the employee and the employer HI is the 1.45%, which I provided to you here. Okay, so it's 1.45%. There is no limit on the wage base, so you're going to pay 1.45% regardless of how much money you make. You can make $1 million, $2 million, $5. The rate is 1.45%. Okay, and there is no maximum tax because it just varies on so many factors. Okay, so this is the layout of the problem. So what are we going to do? Well, first let's start off with our taxable earnings. Okay, what is taxable earnings? That is basically we have to figure out from the salary that we're making how much of that money is taxable. Now for purposes of this problem, we don't have to worry about going over the cap because we don't have a cumulative pay column. So I really don't know how much these employees have made. But based on the information, we're going to calculate the OASDI taxable earnings, the OASDI tax, the HI taxable earnings, and the HI tax. Okay, so let's start with Sina. Sina makes $700 per week. Okay, so OASDI taxable earnings is how much money is going to be used to be able to calculate our OASDI tax. Okay, so in this case, we do not know how much the employees made, so we're going to assume that the employees made less than the cap. So my OASDI taxable earnings will be my $700. My OASDI tax will be your OASDI taxable earnings times the OASDI rate of 6.2%. Okay, and that rate was given to you in the book where it says tax rates. Okay, so that gives me an OASDI tax of $43.40. For my HI taxable earnings, it's the same thing. How much of the earnings for this week are subject to HI taxable? What how can I say? How much of the earnings of the week are taxable for HI purposes? Okay, so that would be $700. My HI tax will be the $700 times the 1.45%, and that will give me $10.15. Okay, so we're gonna do the same thing for the next employee, but now Nicole's a little bit complicated. Okay, Nicole makes $2,980 per month. So we need to know how much Nicole makes in a week. So we're going to have to do an extra calculation, and I'm going to do a little calculation down here. Okay, Nicole. So for Nicole, I'm going to get the $2,980 per month. And I'm going to multiply it by 12 months. Okay. Let me see what that gives us. So $2,980 times 12 months, that's $35,760. Okay, and I'm going to divide by the number of weeks in a year, that's 52 weeks. That will give me $687.69. Okay, so I'm getting my monthly pay, multiplying it by 12 to annualize it. Once I've got my annual, I'm going to divide it by the number of weeks that there's in a year, that's 52 weeks, and that's going to give me my monthly amount. Okay, $687.69. So, for Nicole, what is my OASDI taxable earnings? Okay. OASDI taxable earnings. Okay, so the OASDI taxable earnings will be the amount that we calculated for, right here, that we calculated for the week. So we got the annual pay times, well, we got the monthly pay times 12 months. That gives me my annual pay. I divide by 52 weeks. That gives me my weekly pay of $687.69. My OASDI tax will be $687.69. Okay. And I'm going to multiply that by 6.2%. That gives me 42.64. Okay, now let's look at this number. It's 42.636. Okay, because that third number is a 5 or greater, I'm going to round that second digit up to a 4. So it'll be 42.64. The HI taxable earnings is the amount that we calculated for the week, and the amount that we calculated for the week was $687.69. Okay, to calculate the tax, we get the 687, and that should be a 9, not an 8, a 9. 687.69. Okay, so for my HI tax, I'm going to get my 687.69, and I'm going to multiply it by the 1.45%, and that gives me $997. Okay. The next one is fairly easy. Bob made $650 per week, so my taxable earnings for the week are the $650 that he earned. Everything is taxable. My OASDI tax will be the $650 times the 6.2%. That gives me $40.30. For the HI taxable earnings, the employee made $650. That is the amount that is subject to tax for HI purposes. And my HI tax will be the $650 times the 1.45%. That gives me 9.425. I'm going to round that to 9.43. Okay. Now, be very careful on these two. Okay, now those two, the other three employees were actual employees. Okay, they worked. One works in the office, the other one works in sales, and the other one works in delivery. These last two persons are partners in the business. Okay, if we refer to chapter 2, it talks about partnerships. And it says partners generally are not employees of the partnership. So partners are not employees, okay? So when these employees pay themselves, like it's the case here, they each get paid $9.50 per week. That is considered a withdrawal from the business, not a salary payment, okay? So because they are partners and they're taking money out, that is not considered a salary payment, but rather it's considered a withdrawal, okay? So because it is considered a withdrawal, no taxes will be deducted for either partner, okay? So very important, because I have some students just calculate everything. They're on a roll and they forget to read very careful what kind of employees they are. And these are partners. Remember, if they're partners, they are not considered employees, and they are not liable for any of the taxes. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead. These items will be all zero because none of the employees meet the criteria. Okay, so for Audrey and Beth, they make a withdrawal every week of $9.50, and it's not taxable for OASDI or for HI. Okay, so once we have that, let's get a total column. That way we know if we did good or bad. Okay, let's see. Let's see what happens. Okay. So, we're going to go ahead and we're going to tally it up and we're going to get totals. Okay. So, I'm just going to add all of the information in the column. That's all I'm doing. I'm adding everything in the column. Because I already put the formula in one, I'm just going to select that cell, get this little box in the corner, the little green box, slide it over, and it will copy the same formula over to you. So for my OASDI taxable earnings, I've got $2,037.69. For the OASDI tax, $126.34. For the HI taxable earnings, $2,037.69. And for the HI tax, $29.55. This is the amounts that are going to be deducted from the employee's paycheck for OASDI tax and HI tax. Now, the employer also has to pay their portion of the taxes, okay? So, what we're going to do is we're going to get the total of the OASDI taxable earnings, which is $2037.69, and I'm going to multiply it by 6.2%, okay? Okay, let's see what we get. So we get 126.33,678. So we need to look at that third digit. That third digit is a 5 or greater, so that means I'm going to round up one digit to 126.34. Okay? For the employer's HI tax, we're going to go ahead and we're going to look at the last column. And my total is $29.55. Okay. Oh, sorry. It'll be $29.55 times 1.45%. Let's see what that gives us. That will give me, let's see, did I do it right? Oh no, well, no, I'm doing it incorrect. It would be, it's not the tax, it's the taxable earnings. Come on, focus, Claudia. It's $2037.69, and I'm going to multiply it by the 1.45%. So we're basically picking up the total for each of the for the OASDI, my OASDI taxable earnings, and my HI taxable earnings. Okay, so we're getting those figures for the employer, the total taxable earnings, and then we just multiply by the rate. So when we're dealing with the employer's tax, instead of calculating on an individual level, we calculate it based on the total. So for my employer's OASDI tax, I'm going to look at my total column. I'm going to get the 2037.69, and I'm going to multiply it by my 6.2%. The rate is the same for both the employee and the employer. For the HI tax, I'm going to get my HI taxable earnings of 2037.69, and I'm going to multiply it by the rate of 1.45%. And let's see what that gives us. Times 1.45%. That gives me 29.546. Now let's look at that third digit. That third digit is a 6, so that means I'm going to round that second digit up to a 5. It'll be 29.55. Okay. So this is the amount of tax that the employer is responsible for. So this is how much we're going to deduct from the employees, the top section, the OASDI tax and the HI tax. This is how much the employer is going to have to pocket out for the OASDI and the HI tax. Okay, so it's very important to note that the employers are also responsible for some of these taxes. Okay, that's why when they calculate how much they're going to pay you, they factor in your salary plus the taxes, because they are going to have to pay payroll taxes on your wages. Okay. So that is basically the calculations. The tax rates are provided. The caps are provided. Chapter 2, it mentions that partners are not employees of the partnership for most part. If they are not employees of the partnership, then whatever money they take out every week or every month, whatever the case might be, is considered a withdrawal. Okay? So just remember, in this particular problem, make sure that you are aware of the tax rates. And it's very simple, just identifying the weekly pay, because these employees are getting paid every Friday, once a week. And the tricky part here was Nicole. Nicole was given the monthly wage. So based on the information provided, you have to calculate the weekly pay, which we did it down here. We get the monthly wage time per month times 12 months. That gives me my annual salary of $35,760. I divide by 52 weeks, and that gives me my weekly pay of $687.69. Okay, so that is it for this problem. Make sure that you practice it. Remember, you do have 2 attempts, and I keep the highest grade earned. Okay, and that is it. I will have more lectures over the first part of chapter 3. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to reach out to me. I am available to try to help as much as I can. Have a wonderful day, and until next time, thank you.